Jumping into another D3 to D1 video here today. It is my birthday, and we are back after it getting into the gym. We got track meet later today, but this is our first day of my summer program, which I, look-y forgot was on my birthday. But honestly, a great, little gift to me. Other people might not enjoy that, but starting my own program on my birthday is extremely exciting for me. I love that. Love that for myself, and I'm excited to get into this workout today. Nothing too. I have a picture of it. I don't remember what we're doing, but we're trying to start off not as intense. Is the idea. I'm doing straight leg bounds in my sprints today, so I'll go like 15 yards straight leg bounding, and then sprint, and then get my fly 10 time. Um, so I'm not really worried about what our speed times are for a little bit. More trying to hardwire some better technique. Being more front side, being more upright, better posture, all those kind of things. So that's the current, focus. So it's not as much on speed, and then we'll go get a lift in. A little bit after that, we have some other plyometrics we got to do today. But we're just working out at the park at home. I moved back home, so totally different scenery in this video today, which is something different. Never hurts to be different, but we're getting into this birthday workout. I am not someone who's going to say, my birthday's just another day. But I think it's just really a good time to take a moment and think about, what we're grateful for. To be grateful for loved ones, to have a house, to be able to wake up and train today. I think we take that for granted a lot. And if you're watching this video, you're probably in the 1% of people in, the world. You know what I'm saying? Living the best life you could be in. A third world country really struggling, and just trying to make ends meet with your family. But we're all blessed. We have phones. We're able to sit out here and watch YouTube. Go chase our own dreams and see what we want to do in life. So that's pretty extraordinary. But that's my motivational speech for anybody whose birthday is coming up, or just a regular Monday. So without further ado, let's get into our sprinting and get into the workout. So we've been testing two-leg RSI. Let me throw these keys away. We've been testing two-leg RSI for a while. Now we're going to try testing single-leg RSI. It's a lot more humbling to try single-leg reactive strength just because it's so much harder to get off the ground. I already did my left leg. I got about 0.96, which is a lot better than I was getting last week. I was getting 0.6. So up in that. So a big part of being good at single leg hopping, which I think is the most athletic exercise, is to hop on one leg. And the best exercise that I continue to put in programming is jumping on one leg. So we're going to test this right leg, see how we do with that one. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be worse. See. 0.56. So definitely some strong imbalance from right leg to left leg, which will be something I'll work on going forward. But, just got to keep hammering out, keep doing it, keep doing single leg stuff. So you'll see that a lot more in my programming. And if you train with me, you'll also probably see that a lot more and more in your programming, because it is a skill. Better develop it early so you can actually use it to boost performance rather than trying to learn how to hop on one leg at 20 years old now. Damn. I just remembered I'm 20. So found out something interesting doing our straight leg bounds to our sprint. I was only running about 1.16, which is pretty freaking slow. So it's basically form running. It's slightly under what I would consider, maximal intensity, but it's still in that range where we can get max velocity adaptations, because I did run a full go sprint, like a full fly 10, and this grass is I don't know how well you can see it, but I mean, it's over my foot when my foot's in the ground. So it's higher than where my cleats are. So it's some pretty long grass. So I keep stepping on my pants. So with long grass, you're expecting slow times. Ground is also a little wet. So I expect it to be a little slow. Hopefully we could be a little bit faster than that. I do expect to be faster on a track. So that's not anything unusual, but With those straight leg bounds, you can use it for like a lot of technique work to still get adaptation, but you still have to do maximal sprinting with that because it's not a high enough velocity that I'm getting that max velocity stimulus that I'm looking for, that I heavily need 3 days a week. If you're like more pro athlete or somebody that's super fast, that's very taxing to run at 90%, maybe this would be a good option for you. But for somebody who's slower, make sure you're running max intensity sprints, and then you can do that for like technique work. Because I did feel really good. I felt like I was getting my leg more in front, so that was a good little thing we learned there. But gonna go work out back at the house, hop in front of the house, and do some stuff on the sidewalk, and then jump in the basement, do our lift down there. Let's do it. Plyometrics for today. You're gonna notice a lot of difference in this training, especially my max velocity days are gonna be like literally focused on plyometrics and straight max velocity stuff. We're in our accumulation phases. I have really like 2 of them before I go to two intensification blocks, which will be my strengths. But right now we're trying to hit weaknesses for like 6 weeks. We'll go like 6 weeks doing strengths, and then we'll taper off before we get back into football season. So a lot of plyometrics, we're working on single leg hopping. That's why we're testing single leg RSI. So I'm doing single leg hops in place here. I need to start doing my right leg first because I can notice I'm way, way, way weaker and less elastic on this right leg compared to my left leg. Into our more high intensity plyometric, we're going to do high hurdle hops today. We're doing 4 sets of 5. Working on getting off the ground. We're going to use the tiles to kind of like map it out because it doesn't really matter like what you're using to jump high. You should be jumping high as you can regardless of how high the hurdle is. They're just to mark when you're supposed to jump. So I'm just using the tiles to help me mark that. There's a ton of cars passing me, and I do still get camera shy when I'm filming because I look like a freaking moron. But anyways, so we're doing 4 sets of 5 today. We're just trying to get more and more quality reps every time we do it. So we'll do 5 sets of 4. So, more rest, higher sets, keeping the same-ish volume, but going up a little bit. And then we'll do like 6 sets of 3. So really just going on quality reps. That's the goal with everything we do kind of in this programming, is the constant pursuit of less is really the way I'm going with my programming, doing less and trying to get as many quality reps in as possible is the goal with everything. So let's just get into these hurdle hops here. Nothing too crazy. I felt really good, really explosive, really bouncy doing these recently, which shows, the gains in our RSI, which makes sense because we've been tracking it and it has been going well. I wish I could put up a video right now, like of my old hurdle hops and see like the difference, but I delete all that crap. So, there's just not enough storage on my phone. So I need to buy like a Dropbox thing so I can kind of compare and contrast, which I think I'm about to buy some chains for sprints. So that's just going to have to wait. But those feel pretty good. Now we're going to hop in the basement, jump into our French contrast, do some of it outside, some of it inside. Jumping into our French contrast here, we got 455 on the bar, going for sets of 3 on our quarter squats. Been feeling pretty good with this weight. Unracking it feels like I'm literally taking the world and putting it on my shoulders. But actually squatting it feels pretty good, feels pretty explosive, and it's a good potentiator for the rest of our movements. So we'll do that, and then we go to weighted lunge jumps with a medicine ball. But the medicine ball, like, it's not really importance in terms of being weighted as much, but more so for posture and different things. We are still loading it, but it's just a very low amount, so it doesn't really do much for that. But posture, staying upright in like a split squat position, is a skill we're working on. Then I'll do air lunges, but I'm actually jumping and trying to be reactive out of like a longer split lunge position rather than kind of these pogo positions here. That's a little more taxing, a little more skill based, a little bit tougher on the body. And then assisted pogos, I got the thing thrown around my basketball hoop, so we get that in as well. But this is our last set. Yeah, not much else to say. Let's try and move this 455 as fast as we can. You can see re-racking it almost kills me every time. If I miss it, Really just got to make sure we keep it on this end. If it rolls out here, this thing has no weight supporting it on the other side. So yeah, kind of uncomfortable. This is the most I've definitely ever loaded in my basement. But kind of just had F it because I am appreciating working out in my basement and being able to do that more. So, we're going to use the gym here as much as we can because the gyms I work at are 20 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes away. So that's just a lot of time out of the day that we don't have to expend. We're pretty busy. So being able to come, just get my workout, go to the field, walk down to the park, come back home, do all my stuff in like the front yard and things like that, and my basement is a blessing. Saves me a ton of time. Let's get to the rest of the French contrast. All right, so jumping into the plyos with our contrast training, we'll start with our med ball split squat jumps, and then do our split squat jumps, and then do the assisted pogos. I won't waste your time explaining this. We'll just get into it. And that is it for the birthday workout, people. D3 to D1, we're making it there day by day. Feels like a great session. Great session means great day. This workout did take me like 2.5, 3 hours. So we're going to have to slowly cut that time down. But with recording and all that crap, it's going to take a while. But nice to be able to work out at home and cut off the 20 minutes to and from. Now we're done. So my neighbors are returning who are leaving, getting my workout. That's how I know I'm taking too long. But I'll put a video recommended for you right here and a subscribe button right here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next workout.